Before we begin, I need to make two things clear. First of all, I'm not making fun of the subject of today's video. Actually, I admire him a great deal, and this video is made with the greatest of respect. Secondly, this is gonna get weird. However weird you thought things were gonna get when you clicked on this video, just wait. We're gonna go to places you can't even imagine right now, and when you think we're at the end, we're gonna keep going, because today's subject is the biggest Disney fan in the world, and his story, well, it's a sad one. Now, I know what you're saying. The world's biggest Disney fan? What, does this guy, own a lot of Disney memorabilia? Maybe he visits the parks a lot? Well, no. Well, yes, but also, this guy has done something that I don't think any Disney fan has done before, or certainly since. So let's just jump right in, because today I would like to introduce you to Tom Hignite. 1. Who is Tom Hignite? Now, I wish that I could skip straight to the end of this bizarre story and show you how out of control things are gonna get, but we have to lay a foundation, or nothing that follows will make any sense. And speaking of foundations, this is Wisconsin home builder Tom Hignite. He's the owner of Miracle Homes, a family man, a man of faith, and almost certainly a pillar of his community. He seems like a nice enough guy. I haven't met him, but based on reporting, it seems like Tom never really planned to be an architect, but kind of fell into the job after spending some time studying art in college, and after his rubber raft business, well, I'm trying to think of a word that isn't sunk, but yeah, it failed. This guy had both artistic ambitions and a somewhat shaky business sense, but he was ambitious, and through determination, refusal to give up, and luck, he began his company, Miracle Homes. And I should add at this point that our homemaker friend Tom also has a flair for the dramatic. And so, while most people would design homes that were practical or, well, practical, Tom designs some of the most absurdly cool and bizarre homes ever conceived by man, and I'm not exaggerating. This is a home where a series of 6 Christmas trees are hanging from the ceiling in ornate, handcrafted iron cages. That's bananas, right? Well, get ready, because that's the least outrageous thing you're gonna see today, because he also made a home that includes an outdoor patio that can be flooded with several inches of water. Why? I don't know, but it exists, and it exists because of Tom Hignite. A few more highlights. In one home, Tom created a 2-story basketball court complete with restaurant-style sports bar. He also made an indoor theater with animatronic figures of John Wayne and Marilyn Monroe who would play out a scene using custom voice acting and a score recorded by an orchestra specifically for this purpose. This is the greatest thing ever, right? He also designed a child's bedroom with all fiberglass furniture. I don't know why. I have no answers for you. Another house had 2 children's bedrooms connected by a tunnel positioned under their beds. Actually, a lot of his homes have little child-sized lounge areas. Here's one such area that's part of a 2-story Disney bedroom, complete with princess balcony, a toy monorail that circles the room, working animatronics, and lit store display-style windows with Disney characters. This house also contains a glass floor under which is a detailed model of Disneyland, complete with model train and model railroad, and a bed designed to look like a monorail that sits on a track high above the floor. You get why I like this guy, right? His homes are amazing, not practical in the slightest, and there are a million reasons why someone might not want to live in one of these, but I don't want to make fun of them too much because they're all the right kind of insane. He's making homes with stained glass windows, bizarre water features that I don't quite understand, with books hanging from the walls on strings, and board games glued to the walls as decorations. This is fantastic. The thing I love most about his design sense is that he's deprioritized practicality in favor of the fun, the interesting, and the novel. This is a man who uses architecture to create drama and inspire wonder. He designs homes in a way that's like how a child might design a home, and I mean this as a positive. His imagination is wonderful, and that's why I like this so much. But what, you ask, does all of this have to do with Disney? Sure, there are a couple of themed rooms, but that doesn't make him the world's biggest Disney fan, right? Well, Tom Hignite's company, Miracle Homes, had a mascot that Tom designed himself, and that mascot was named Miracle Mouse, and, well, you tell me if anything stands out to you about him.
We're number one! Lowest prices, pick your house, pick your land, and oh yeah, we got that quality thing going too.
In quality and price, we build Wisconsin's most amazing homes, and we have that confidence thing too.
She's West.
Yeah, right? He looks a little like,
I'm Miracle Mouse, not Mickey, not Mighty.
Okay, put a pin in that, we're gonna circle back to it. Miracle Mouse and his buddy Okie Dokie the Beaver are builders, and the premise of their commercials, produced by Hignite, is that in a world of cheap homes and scammy builders, these two are the kind of dependable, reliable, quality-focused builders that you can trust. Awesome conceit, wonderful commercials, fantastic animation, no notes. But hey, I promised to show you the world's biggest Disney fan, and coming up with a mascot that kind of looks like Mickey Mouse a little, that's not gonna cut it, right? Well, remember, we're ramping up, because now we're gonna talk about 2. Tom's TV show. So, Tom Hignite's Home Imaginators was a self-produced TV show that's basically an infomercial for Tom's business. In each episode, Tom shows off various homes that he's created, the interesting features within those homes, and also, well, okay, do you remember how Miracle Mouse kind of looked a little bit like Mickey Mouse? Well, see if the introduction to this show rings any bells. Yeah, actually the entire show, from its method of presentation to Tom's hosting style, bears a lot of resemblance to Walt Disney's old 1950s show Walt Disney Presents, which featured Walt explaining all the neat things that his Imagineers had invented for his park. Only now, instead of Walt talking about the exciting stuff happening at Disneyland, here's Tom talking about what's happening in his various home building projects. And instead of Disney's Imagineers, you've got Tom's merry band of Imaginators. Now, is a television series based on a 1950s children's show the best way to advertise high-end, incredibly expensive novelty homes that are being built in Wisconsin? I don't know, but boy is it a fun peek into this man's psyche and how big a fan he was, not just of Disney as a brand, but of Walt Disney as a man, a creator, and a presenter. Throughout all 6 episodes of the show, which are absolutely on YouTube if you're interested, you can feel Tom's excitement as he shows off his new home ideas, the neat gimmicks he's included in his various rooms, and, okay, does the guy maybe have a little bit of an ego? Probably. I mean, you've seen his signature, right? But the joy that he takes in his work is infectious, and although these homes aren't for me, I understand why he's proud of what he's created and why he wants to show it all off. And to me, the pinnacle of Tom's building career might be the time that he designed an entire Disney theme park ride inside one of his homes. I told you things were gonna escalate. 3. Mr. Hignite's Wild Ride. as you can maybe tell, I'm kind of obsessed with this guy, and so after I had exhausted all 6 episodes of Tom Hignite's Home Imaginators, I wanted more, and so I found his company's Vimeo page where he shows off several homes that were completed after his TV show ended. And okay, there's a lot to unpack in these videos, and if this were an architecture-focused channel, we'd be here for weeks, but the main thing I'd like to focus on is a video titled Fantasy Home T2600 Part 3 Fix. In this video, Tom shows off a Disney-themed train ride built into the walls of a home that takes riders through several scenes populated by Disney characters with music, lights, and custom voices for the characters played by sound-alike actors that Tom had hired.
Here, let's listen.
Of course, then stop you must. Nothing lasts forever. The jungle of Africa awaits. Forward through the doors. You know the routine. I'll be...
All right, so that's enough of him.
You've got an Alice in Wonderland room, a forced perspective Monstro the Whale room that incorporates Jiminy Cricket in a fish tank, an Aladdin room, a Beauty and the Beast room, a Lion King room, and just reflect on this for a moment, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of overwhelmed by all of this, right? This guy creates his own Disney ride. That's exceptional. That's one step beyond. And if that were the most interesting thing that this guy did, I would not have made this video, because as exciting as all of that was, we are still in the prelude. I've not yet revealed why this is the man who is Disney's biggest fan, so let's peel back the final curtain and reveal the true extent of Tom Hignite's Disney fandom. Get ready. 4. Hignite Goes Hollywood. So, you remember Miracle Mouse, right? Okay, I'll forgive you if you don't. It seems like so long ago that we were discussing the mascot of Hignite's company, but Tom really liked this guy, and he saw a lot of potential in him and his beaver pal Okie Dokie, and so Tom decided, well, why not make a Miracle Mouse movie? Well, I mean, you and I can probably think of a few reasons why a professional home builder based in Wisconsin with limited experience producing television might not be the best person to start an animation studio, but you and I are also people who haven't built theme park rides in our basement, so who's the real fool here, huh? I mean, yeah, why not? So in 2003, at the same time Disney was laying off their 2D animators, Tom went ahead and swooped up 13 artists, all but one of them ex-Disney or ex-Warner Brothers, relocated them to Wisconsin, and set them to work in the in-law suite of his home, creating the Miracle Mouse movie, which was titled either The Mini Stories of Miracle Mouse, or Cranky's Miracle, or Flabbergasted. Now, as you'd expect, production was not without its difficulties. There are reports that Tom wasn't quite clear on the visual style he wanted, sometimes requesting a flat, stylized, Mary Blair-inspired look, and sometimes wanting something more akin to the traditional Disney style. Also, there was the whole thing about the movie's main character looking like the mascot of the most powerful media empire in existence. According to one of the project's former animators, quote, "Nobody wanted to draw that mouse." And apparently, based on some of the animator's former colleagues who still worked at Disney, Tom Hignite was, quote, on the company's radar. Eventually, the mouse was redesigned, slightly, and production continued, but there was also the issue of the story. As one animator working on the project lamented, quote, "There's really not much substance." He added, referring to the Miracle Mouse character, quote, "He's not that endearing. There's really nothing humorous or any depth to the character." As such, the choice was made to center the story around the character of Cranky Crane, a mean old man who lives alone and whose home, one day, is invaded by a flock of ducks. After numerous attempts to get rid of the ducks, Cranky decides to move, selling his home and closing his home-building business, the same business that Miracle and Okie Dokie work for. Well, in the end, there's a giant storm, ducks help Cranky, and yeah, well, if I'm being honest, there are some story problems, and those problems were apparent to the folks working on the film as well. Eventually, Hignite, and according to one report, several ghostwriters, wrote a children's storybook that tried to define the story a little better, and even though Hignite published 9,000 copies, each of which included a CD with the film's original score, I somehow can't find a copy of it online. I mean, I found listings on eBay and Amazon, but neither includes a picture, so I don't want to spend money if I don't know what I'm getting. But I very much want one of these books. Actually, as an aside, there is a ton of Miracle Mouse merchandise that at one point was available, but is now only listed on a defunct website accessible only via the Wayback Machine, and if any of you have a Miracle Mouse plush doll, I want it. I've actually given some thought as to how I could either make one myself or maybe cannibalize a Mickey Mouse doll. I could 3D print the hard hat, maybe find some infant-sized overalls, but I'm getting off track. Stop distracting me. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the characters of the movie were reportedly a little weak, the story was kind of thin, and as you'd expect, the movie eventually fizzled out, never going much farther than the conceptual stage. Except, of course, it didn't, because Tom Hignite is a mad creative visionary, so in spite of his animator's reservations and what you and I might call basic common sense, Tom commissioned songs, orchestral music, and hired Hollywood voice actors, including Jane Lynch.
I'll be all right. That bitter bird needs your help. Show him grace more than ever.
Ernest Borgnine.
No, not the ducks. Oh, good.
And Veronica Cartwright to be in the movie. And with that, it was more or less locked. The story was set, the recordings were done, all that was left was to animate it. And then, in 2006, the housing market crashed. From what I can piece together from the little reporting that remains online, it seems like Tom's big-budget Wisconsin luxury homes stopped selling as well as they were, and that funding for the movie dried up, which sucks, right? Not just for the animators, who were now stuck out of work in Wisconsin, a state famous for its lack of animation studios, but for all of us, right? Like, I don't know if this movie would have been good or not, but I also don't know whether or not it's a good idea to put a theme park ride in a basement. It doesn't mean I don't want to see it. About 2.5 minutes of animation were completed, including the film's big opening musical number, and are available online.
Miracles are happening.
Happen every day.
Open your eyes, you'll realize what a wonderland is on display.
And if you use the Wayback Machine to visit the now-defunct Miracle Studios website, you can view a lot of the film's promotional material, including an episode-by-episode breakdown of the Miracle Mouse TV series that was supposed to follow the film, and you can actually download songs from the film's orchestral score. We can also read about the various side characters, including Carooster the Rooster, Ragtag the Raccoon, Captain Muskie the Muskrat, and the Mole family. So much work went into this. It's incredible. And that's just the information that I can find online. Unfortunately, a sizzle reel that included a 27-minute rough animatic of the movie was never released to the public. And although orchestral music can still be found online, the film's songs were never released. And I also have a very strong memory from years ago of seeing Tom in a video for investors where he discussed trying to fund the movie. It might have been a crowdfunding, I don't know. What I do know is that even after I spent all this time researching this project, I still feel like I'm only scratching the surface. It seems like 99% of the material created for this movie is just never going to see the light of day. And that's really sad to me. So much hard work, completely forgotten, lost to history. The final remaining details I can find out about this movie say that eventually the old Disney and Warner Brothers animators moved off the project, and Tom decided to, and it hurts me to say this, give up his dream of making a 2D animated movie. From what I can tell, the last materials produced for the Miracle Mouse movie were a CGI render of a newly redesigned Miracle Mouse and a CGI render of Cranky Crane, and also this Fox character. I can't find any reference to her in the film's earlier materials. Maybe she's supposed to be this character, or maybe she's a new replacement for Okie Dokie the Beaver? I'm not gonna lie. Going from this beautiful hand-drawn Disney-style animation to this, it just makes me sad, but even changing to CGI did not help this movie, and the film was never completed, which leads us to this. 5. Conclusion. I really like Tom Hignite. Now, I understand that some of the folks he's had business dealings with in the past, including some of the animators who relocated to Wisconsin, may disagree with me, but I love the idea that this guy was inspired by the media that he loved, and without any regard to whether or not he could do it, he gave his dream the best shot that he could. More than any other Disney fan I can think of, Tom embraced that Disney spirit of American optimism, hope, and reckless disregard for what other people think is possible. I love the fact that he tried to do this incredible, impossible thing, and sure, he failed, but this was a bold failure, a noble failure, a failure not of imagination, but of reality. I wish that I could be as brave in pursuing my dreams as Tom was, and I wish that I could be as sure of my creative ideas as he was. And I wish this video could be more complete. I wish a lot of the news articles about this film's production weren't just dead links. And I wish that a lot of the videos Tom made hadn't disappeared. And I still wish that some of the Miracle Mouse merchandise was available, because seriously, I want a Miracle Mouse plushie. I'm not kidding. Because I'm fascinated with this whole enterprise. To me, this isn't a video about failure, but a story about a man who was unwilling to let reality or common sense get in the way of his ambition and his imagination. He's inspiring, he's creative, and yeah, I just really wanted to share his story with you today. Please be kind in the comments, and please don't bother the guy. Apparently, he's now building assisted living homes, and that seems like a wonderful use of his talents. And if you thought that this video was a wonderful use of my talents, oof, that's a bad transition, consider subscribing. Although I'll tell you something, this channel just hit 4,500 subscribers, and if we never get another new subscriber, I will still be absurdly happy. This uptick in subscribers was just a wonderful surprise, and I'm still incredibly grateful to all of you, even though I'm going to guess that this video about an obscure Wisconsin homebuilder is maybe going to get like 50 views. But hey, I make all kinds of weird videos talking about all kinds of media. Sometimes we talk about the most successful Netflix series ever, and sometimes I'm gonna talk about stuff like this. But to everybody who made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.